my boy? Fine to see you. My God, you must have grown about another 20 inches. It's fine to see you.
How are you, Mr. Annalini? How is Mrs. Annalini?
Oh, we're both fine and dandy. Let me have that coat.
Oh, thank you.
Mrs. Angelini, how's the coffee coming?
It's ready. Wait, is that Holden? Hi, Holden.
Hello, Mrs. Annalini.
So you and Pensy are no longer one? What was the trouble? How'd you do in English? I'll show you the door in short order if you flunked English. You little ace composition writer.
Oh, I passed English all right. It was mostly literature, though. I only wrote about 2 compositions the whole term. I flunked oral expression, though. They had this course you had to take, oral expression, that I flunked.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't feel much like going into it. It's this course where each boy in the class has to get up in class and make a speech. You know, spontaneous and all. And if the boy discresses at all, you're supposed to yell discretion at him as fast as you can. It just about drove me crazy. I got an F in it.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. That discretion business got on my nerves. I don't know. The trouble with me is I like it when somebody discresses me. It's more interesting and all.
You don't care to have somebody stick to the point when he tells you something?
Oh, sure. I like somebody to stick to the point and all, but I don't like them to stick too much to the point. I don't know. I guess I don't like it when somebody sticks to the point all the time. The boys that get the best marks in oral expression were the ones that stuck to the point all the time. I admit it. But there was this one boy, Richard Kinsella. He didn't stick to the point too much, and they were always yelling discretion at him. It was terrible because in the first place, he was a very nervous guy. I mean, he was a very nervous guy, and his lips were always shaking whenever it was his time to make a speech, and you could hardly hear him if you were sitting way in the back of the room. When his lips sort of quit shaking a little bit, though, I liked his speech list. His speech is better than anybody else's. He practically flunked the Corso, too. He got a D+ because I kept yelling discretion at him all the time. For instance, he made this speech about this farm his father brought in from Vermont. They kept yelling discretion at him the whole time he was making it. And teacher Mr. Vincent gave him an F on it because he hadn't told him what kind of animals, vegetables and stuff grew on the farm and all.
We're doing video practice.
What he did was, Richard Kinsella, he'd start telling you about that stuff, then all of a sudden he'd start telling you about this letter his mother got from his uncle and how his uncle got polio and all when he was 42 years old, and how he wouldn't let anybody come to see him in the hospital because he didn't want anybody to see him with a brace on. It didn't have much to do with the farm, I admit it, but it was nice. It's nice when somebody tells you about their uncle, especially when they start telling you about their father's farm and all of a sudden you get more interested in their uncle. I mean, it's dirty to keep yelling discretion at him when he's all nice and excited. I don't know, it's hard to explain.
I don't want to scare you, but I can clearly see you dying nobly, one way or another, for some highly unworthy cause. If I write something down for you, will you read it carefully and keep it?
Yeah, sure.
Oddly enough, this wasn't written by a practicing poet. It was written by a psychoanalyst named Wilhelm Steckel. Here's what he... Are you still with me?
Yeah, sure I am.
The mark of the immature man is that he wants to die nobly for a cause, while the mark of the mature man is that he wants to live humbly for one. You're gonna have to find out where you want to go, and then you've got to start going there, but immediately. You can't afford to lose 1 minute, not you. Come on, we'll fix up the couch for you. You know where the bathroom is. If there's anything you want, just holler. I'll be in the kitchen for a while. Will the lay bother you?
No, heck no, thanks a lot.
All right, night, handsome.
Nice, sir. Thanks again. What the hell are you doing?
Nothing, just simply admiring.
What are you doing anyway?
How about keeping your voice down? I'm just simply sitting here.
I left my bags and all at the station. I think maybe I better go down and get them.
You
I
have
have
to
all my
go?
stuff in them.
You have to go? They'll be there in the morning. Now go back to bed. I'm going to bed myself. What's the matter with you?
Nothing's the matter. It's just that all my money and stuff's in one of my bags. I'll be right back. I'll get a cab and be right back.
Don't be ridiculous, Holden. Get back in that bed. I'm going to bed myself. The money will be there safe and sound in the morning.
No, no kidding. I gotta get going. I really do.
You're a very, very strange boy.
I know it. Goodbye, sir. Thanks a lot. No kidding. The elevator was finally there. I got in and went down. Boy, was I shaking like a madman. I was sweating too. When something dirty like that happens, I start sweating like a bastard. That kind of stuff happened to me about 20 times since I was a kid. I can't stand it.